I'm out at the pond. I got my catfishing setups, and I'm gonna give you a basic video of how to get started catfishing. And whenever it comes down to it, it really comes down to one simple thing, and it's putting a bait that catfish would want to eat in front of the catfish. And so that's really the main idea. Just have a bait they like and put it in places they live. In this video, I'm gonna show you some of the basic rigs to do that. And then we're even gonna see if we can catch catfish right here behind me. So all the catfishing stuff I do, I use my KG catfishing kit. I built this so that it's got all the things you need and not all the stuff you don't. Check it out. But whether you're just getting started fisherman or you know all kinds of stuff about catfishing, this is still all the things you need. On the inside, it has a fishing knot, which is great. And here, I've even put a little cheat sheet too, most common rigs you're gonna need to know. The first one being the bobber rig. Now there's a bunch of parts to it, but in the kit, all those parts are here. But I've already got one made up, and I'll even show you guys a video at the end of this one that can show you how to build it more in depth, I guess. But this is a really good way. The slip bobber is a good way to fish suspended and not always on the bottom, because sometimes the catfish are on the bottom, sometimes they're not. And while we're sitting here talking about catfishing, I'm going to find a bait that catfish like. In this case, catfish like to eat a lot of things, but they primarily use their nose to find it, so scent. I'm just gonna be using a bread ball. Other really good baits are chicken breast, chicken liver, hot dogs, live bait, dead fish, live fish, things like that. But we're gonna see if we can test our luck right here with a good old bread ball. Just like that. And we're gonna fish this about 3 feet deep. So let's go ahead and cast it out here. So we have a bait they like, we gotta put it in front of them. This is where the depth is really important, or even the bottom, because wherever those catfish are, that's where you need to put it. I'm thinking I'm gonna try to put it about 3 feet right there, because there's kind of like some weird tree structure right there. And whenever it gets dark in the evening and nighttime, the catfish will come shallower and feed. During the daytime, or whenever it's cold, or whenever it's really hot, they'll actually be pretty deep. So we're gonna leave that one out set. And here's the other thing about catfishing that's different than a lot of fishing. Since the idea of catfishing is to use a bait and let the catfish with their smellers, their receptors, their scent, their nose, I guess, they're gonna find your bait. So that means we're just gonna let it sit here.
A lot of sitting and waiting.
Yeah, it can be a lot of sitting and waiting, because instead of actively fishing like bass fishing where you're showing a lure, you're showing a lure, you're showing a lure, you're showing a lure, with this, you're just presenting a bait and letting the fish come to you. So it is a lot more simple, a lot more sitting. But for here, I'm just going to set my fishing pole right here. And because it is a lot of sitting and waiting, a lot of people will actually go for multiple rods, and that's totally all good.
Eat your hot dogs while you're waiting.
Yeah, you can eat, you can take it easy, you can bring a friend and just talk the whole time. And it gives me time to rig up my second pole, which is gonna be a good old bottom rig. Same one is in there, but it's gonna be an egg sinker right here, down to a swivel, down to a line. And this is just the weight's gonna pull it down to the bottom, and this bait is gonna be right down there at the bottom as well. Now, here's what you gotta do. When your bobber starts moving, right now it's sitting here doing this, it's slowly bouncing. That could mean if it's slowly, barely bouncing, maybe even sharp bounces, it could be bluegill, because bluegill will eat a lot of the same things catfish will, but they'll just nibble on it. So say that bread thing, our bobber's sitting here doing this. That's probably a bluegill, because it's just sitting here trying to nip at it. But if that bobber all of a sudden just goes down and disappears, like confidently just takes off, that's a bigger fish. It's probably a catfish. But let me go ahead and set up this bottom rig, because the whole idea of catfishing is giving the food that they want to eat in front of their face. Now you can make it as simple or as complicated as you want it. You can go with some Santo de Domingo rig or something like that. You can make up your own rig. Or you can go simple, where you just figure out a way to put a weight on a hook and get your bait down to the bottom. That's what I like to do. I like to keep it simple. But boom, and you ain't got to sling one out there. Now let's say you knew somehow that the catfish was way over there. Yeah, then sling it out here. But I happen to know the catfish are also right here. So I ain't even gonna worry about doing a casting contest and seeing how far I can get it. Now, the bobber is a visual game. You gotta watch the bobber to know what's going. With this catfishing rig, with the bottom rig, I like to keep my line tight, so that anytime my bait moves, my rod tip is also going to move. So it can also be a visual game where you're sitting there watching your rod tip, and then whenever your rod takes off, that's when you got one. But in my fishing kit, I have a audible fishing technique here, so that whenever my rod tip starts bouncing, the bells will too. If all goes well, they'll let me know what's going on here. So if we hear ringing, we'll know to pick up that one. That's a fun little thing. But yeah, catfish is real fun. It don't have to be complicated, but it can be as complicated as you want to, and it can be as in-depth as you want to. Whether you use a circle hook like that right there, or you choose to fish a little bit differently and use a J hook like that right there. Whether you choose an 1/8 ounce weight or a 1/2 ounce weight, there's a lot of things that can go into why you choose one, whether it's current, whether it's depth, whether it's how big your bait is, if it's alive. There we go, there we go, there we go. There's a fish, just like that, boys. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yep.
Oh, son, we got him. I hate to say this, but, oh, he's taking drag. Ethan, if you can you pull up that bobber? Pull up that bobber. Here's where teamwork comes in. Oh, there he is, boys, there he is. I got him, I got him. Just go ahead and take it up. Teamwork, son. Ethan's gonna pull up that bobber rig. So whenever you yank in on a big one, son, you just gotta teamwork right here. Here you go. He's a big one, son.
He's a good one.
I hate to say this, but I think I lost my bells.
They did.
If I was fishing from the bank or something, that wouldn't be a problem, but where I was fishing right here, it turned into a little problem. Switch me spots real quick. But dude, that's what's cool. As long as you put the bait they want close to where they are, let the catfish find it. Let them find you.
Get the net, bub, get the net.
Get the net, son. Dude, I'm gonna tell you, if we didn't have them bells,
You would have lost that
I think
one.
I may have. All right, now let's see if we can land this big guy. But what I was saying is there's so many different hooks. Catfish is as simple or as complicated as you want it to be. Whenever you're first getting started, just make it simple, guys. Get you a bait the catfish want, put it on a hook that fits in their mouth, and get it in front of the catfish. It's usually on the bottom. Then the more you learn about it, you can dive deep into what kind of bait you want to use and when. You can dive deeper into your exact weights and leader lengths. So catfishing's fun because it's simple. You can get on some catfish, but the more you know about it, you can get better and you can learn. So here we got a good old channel catfish.
That's a good one.
I'm gonna pull him up, all right? Pull him up at your feet, at your feet. Oh, daggone, that's a good one, son. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go.
Great.
That's a good one. Looky there, boys. That's a good one, dude. And that is a channel catfish. There's 3 main types of catfish. You have the channel catfish, the blue catfish, and the flathead catfish.
What channel is that one?
Channel 5. You know how in Jurassic Park, how that one dinosaur just has the phone in its belly? I'm going to be out here fishing one day, and we're just going to hear ching, 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 ching. We're going to hear them bells. Some big fish go eat it just when he's swimming. Ching, 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 ching. That'll be funny. But this one is a channel catfish. I'll come down here on the bottom. That circle hook hooked him right there in the middle. And I tell you what, come on. These can be a little tough, but I got pliers here. We'll take them out. Boom, there we go. I tell you what, guys, if y'all are interested in getting started catfishing and you don't want to have to go to Walmart and pick out like 42 different things, you can just buy this kit. I'm gonna put the link down in the description, and it's always important to release your catfish. You can either release them back into the water or release them in the grease. I don't know, catfish taste good. If you want to learn more about 3 catfishing rigs that are really important to know, click right over here. Or if you want to know the difference between a J hook and a circle hook and how to use them, click right over here. Release them to the grease. Release to the grease.